When you look into the night sky, what do you see? Is it the stars, stationary, bright balls of seemingly controlled fire? Or maybe you notice the moon, the same moon that comforted your ancestors on a long journey home. The night sky has a way of flooding the body with memories and emotions, otherwise stuck behind the numbness of mundane life. Perhaps you hadn't noticed her much at all till this moment. Nevertheless, here she is, bedazzled with diamonds and swimming with secrets. What's the hype around space? Well, for one, new opportunity for the human race could be right above our heads. We all know that global warming is slowly sucking the life out of our poor planet. And as a result, some scientists have stopped asking the question, what can we do? But have instead started inching towards, where could we go? Mars, for instance, has caught the eye of many a researcher over the past few years, especially because of how close it is and how somewhat livable its environment seems to be. Now, this might sound like the first line of an upcoming science fiction movie, but this is a very real possibility. If science advanced enough, you could wake up to an email inviting you to be the first human adult to live on planet Mars. How would you feel? Would you take the leap? Maybe you gather your bags, get on a spacecraft, and well, get this, you officially become an alien, landing on a new world. What are the odds that we aren't the only ones gazing up at the night sky? When asked about feelings that come up looking at the night sky, many reported a surge of curiosity. The common consensus is that there's no possible way that you, my dear listener, are in isolation. When you look into the vastness of the universe and the number of planets even in just one singular galaxy, the likelihood of Earth being the only one to have life, and not even intelligent life, is pretty slim to none. At the end of the day, it's all one big question mark. I mean, here you are on this big floating rock in the middle of outer space. Does the question then not become, why?
We were shopping for stars like lovers, searching for the perfect gift, pointing out Orion's belt and adorning our outfits, calling it our own. We were shopping for stars like bandits, some of us shoplifting, sneaking wisps of the Milky Way into our pockets. We were picking only the brightest, or maybe the smallest, or those we'd seen as kids, still hanging as time's everlasting backdrop that the stagehands forgot to roll off stage left. It's about time we get to take some of us home with us, stardust holding stardust, comforting itself, holding that ethereal glow, while backing silently away in horror at the smallness of us both. A perfect silence.
Huh, a shooting star.
Must be a sign.
Or just a coincidence.
What do you think happens when we die?
Oh, jeez. I don't know. I don't like to think about it.
I think about it way too much.
Honestly, I don't think there's anything after life.
But doesn't that just make you sad?
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't think there's anything? Like, it's just dark?
Well, I'm not sure.
God, that's so depressing.
You don't think I know? It's not like I could do anything about it. I can't just magically believe something I don't believe in. Trust me, I've tried. I tried going to church because I want to believe that there are pearly gates that are waiting for me on the other end. I mean, I wish I could believe that there's a hell, even. Because even then, eternal suffering is better than the nothing I can't help but know is waiting for me. And it's not just black, because that's still something. You know, there are some times I get close to believing in an afterlife, but it's only a matter of time when that little voice creeps out from deep within my DNA just to remind me that there's nothing.
I'm sorry.
No, it's not your fault. It's just, like I said, I try not to think about it. But what about you? What do you think?
I go back and forth, but ultimately, I think we become stars. I mean, we're made out of the same stuff they are. Plus, we could still see what goes on down here. We can look down at our friends and family, and they could look back up at us when they miss us.
You actually believe that?
I'd like to think so. Like I said, I can't stop thinking about it. You know, when life seems to be going way too fast, I like to lay down beneath the night sky. It's as if time stops for just a moment, and it's there where I can take a moment to breathe.
That's ridiculous.
What? How so?
When I look up into the night sky, for me, I just get lost in the labyrinth of stars. My mind races like a ball in a pinball machine, clanging against intrusive thoughts and weaving between my insecurities, reminding me that we are truly alone in the universe, that I am truly alone. Well, once I die, I'll just be forgotten.
That's not true. Your friends, your family, and even your enemies will remember you. You live on forever in memories, like radio waves permeating throughout the cosmos.
Okay, but what about when those people die? Soon I will be forgotten.
Well, by that logic, soon everyone will be forgotten.
Exactly. Oh, God. These thoughts are what keep me up at night, and why I keep my gaze down.
But the universe doesn't end when you do.
What?
When we die, not just us two, but when everyone dies, the universe will still be there. Look at that star. It will still be burning 100 years from now. The moon will still be orbiting the Earth. Okay, some stars will burn out, but more stars will continue to be born. We are not the center of the universe. We're simply spectators of it.
So, what I'm hearing is that nothing matters.
No, that is not what I'm saying.
If we all die and nothing really changes, what's the point? Nothing I do here on Earth matters. I don't matter.
But you do! You are matter! If nothing matters, then everything matters.
You're losing me.
If what you're saying is true, that our lives are so insignificant in the grand scheme of things, so much so that there is no meaning to life, then that gives us all the power in the universe to make our lives better. If there is truly no meaning, then we have a blank canvas onto which we can paint meaning. And not the meaning of someone else, but our own. Our own significance. And we are the only beings that have that privilege. Is that not the most freeing thought you could think?
Isn't it crazy how two very different people on two very different sides of the globe can experience the same exact day in two very different ways? This is because we all measure our experience in space-time differently, and that's because space-time isn't flat. It's curved, and it can be warped by matter and energy. So depending on our position and speed, time can appear to move faster or slower to us relative to others in a very different part of space-time. As for astronauts on the International Space Station, this means they get to age just a tiny bit slower than the people on Earth. According to American theoretical physicist John Wheeler, matter tells space-time how to curve. Space-time tells matter how to move. We think that the universe started 13 or 14 billion years ago with the Big Bang. At that point, only the lightest elements existed, such as hydrogen, helium, and minuscule amounts of lithium. Elements are matter that cannot be broken down into simpler substances. On the periodic table, each element is distinguished by its atomic number, which describes the number of protons in the nuclei of its atoms. The first generation of stars formed as lumps of gas drawn together and eventually began to combust. This would cause a nuclear reaction in the center of the star. It's theorized that some of our hydrogen, which makes up roughly 9.5% of our bodies, and lithium, which our body contains in very, very tiny trace amounts, originated from the Big Bang. Which, if you think about it, means that we're made up of original stars created from the Big Bang millions and millions of years ago. How cool is that? So there are 7 main different types of stars. They originate in order of decreasing temperature, which goes O, B, A, F, G, K, and M. O and B are very uncommon, very hot and bright stars. M are more common, they're cooler and dim, such as the Betelgeuse star, which can be seen in the constellation Orion. The Betelgeuse star is one of the largest stars visible to the naked eye, and if we're at the center of our solar system, its surface would engulf the orbits of Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, and possibly Jupiter.
What is space?
What is space?
What is space?
What is space?
Is it answers or questions? Is it comfort or something to avoid the rest of our lives? Careful to focus only on trivial work and building a future that we can't hold on to.
Is it stories and fragile anecdotes, warping with time as each retelling forgets the details?
Is it time itself?
Light years away are the years past and future that we've yet to catch up to.
Is it a religion?
A careful balance of planets and stars guiding us like our ancestors. Is it something to care about more than the society in front of us?
Or a distraction? A mere fantasy of those who can't handle reality?
Is it a matrix of data, building an image of the void above?
Or is it an idea where meaning is only found when we bother to observe it?
Yes.
Yes.